Serena Williams' sister, Yetunde Price, was tragically shot in the head and killed by a gang member in Compton, California, in 2003, and her story remains one of the most heartbreaking moments in the tennis legend's life. Despite this, Serena recently sparked controversy by performing the Crip Walk at Super Bowl 59 during Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, a move that some found shocking given her painful history with gang violence. But this story isn't just about a dance. It's about tragedy, resilience, and the complicated intersection of culture, personal pain, and public perception. To understand why Serena's Super Bowl appearance became such a heated topic, we have to go back to one of the darkest moments in her family's history. Yetunde Price, the older half-sister of Serena and Venus Williams, was a loving and devoted mother, a nurse, and a personal assistant to her famous siblings. But her life was cut short on the night of September 14, 2003, when she became the victim of a senseless act of gang violence. That night, Yetunde was in Compton, sitting in her SUV with her boyfriend, Roland Wormley, near a known drug house. The area was controlled by the notorious Crips gang, and its members were on high alert for potential rivals. When they saw Yetunde's vehicle parked outside, they immediately suspected trouble. Paranoia and gang tensions led them to believe the car was connected to enemy gang members. Without warning, bullets started flying. One of those bullets struck Yetunde in the head. The attack was brutal, unprovoked, and irreversible. Roland, in a desperate attempt to save her life, sped away and raced toward a hospital, but it was too late. At just 31 years old, Yetunde Price was gone. The investigation into her murder eventually led to the arrest of Robert Edward Maxfield, a 25-year-old Crips member. His trial, however, was not straightforward. The first two attempts to convict him ended in mistrials, prolonging the agony for Yetunde's family. But in 2006, on the eve of his third trial, Maxfield accepted a plea deal and was convicted of voluntary manslaughter. He received a 15-year prison sentence, but was released on parole after serving only 12 years. The Williams family was devastated by Yetunde's death. Serena, who was only 22 at the time, was at the height of her tennis career, but was forced to navigate unimaginable grief while remaining in the public eye. She spoke about her sister's murder in 2004, describing her as a wonderful person and admitting that the family was doing their best to cope. "Some days are better than others," she said, revealing the deep emotional toll of the tragedy. The pain of losing Yetunde was something that never truly faded for Serena and Venus. In an effort to honor her sister's memory, they later opened the Yetunde Price Resource Center in Compton, offering support services to families affected by violence. It was their way of turning their grief into something meaningful, a way to ensure that Yetunde's name would not be forgotten. Yet, despite this tragic history, Serena found herself at the center of controversy once again in 2024. The reason? A single dance move at the Super Bowl. During Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance, Serena made a brief but notable appearance, doing the Crip Walk, a dance deeply associated with the very gang that took her sister's life. It was a move that instantly divided public opinion. Some saw it as a simple tribute to her Compton roots. Others saw it as deeply insensitive, given her personal history with the Crips. Serena Williams' sister was killed by Crips. Today, she was Crip walking on live TV to get back at her ex-Drake, one person wrote on social media, referencing the ongoing feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. This wasn't the first time Serena had used the dance in a high-profile setting. Back in 2012, after winning Olympic gold against Maria Sharapova, she celebrated by doing the Crip Walk on the tennis court. That moment also sparked controversy, with critics arguing that it was inappropriate for a professional athlete, especially one with her personal history, to be performing a dance associated with gang culture. But was Serena's Super Bowl moment really about the Crips? Or was it something deeper? The Crip Walk, while undeniably linked to gang culture, has evolved over time. It has become a symbol of Compton itself, a nod to the struggles, resilience, and triumphs of those who come from the area. Kendrick Lamar, a Compton native, used his Super Bowl performance to celebrate his city's legacy, its influence on hip-hop, and its journey from struggle to success. For Serena, the dance might not have been about gangs at all. It could have been a way to reclaim something that has often been tied to negativity, and instead turn it into a celebration of where she came from. Compton made her who she is. It shaped her, just as it shaped Kendrick. And in that moment, she might have been saying, "This is my home, my heritage, my story, on my terms." Of course, not everyone sees it that way. For many, the sight of Serena performing the Crip Walk is impossible to separate from her family's painful history. The gang culture that the dance originated from is the same culture that took Yetunde's life. Even if Serena didn't mean it as an endorsement of the Crips, the connection is hard to ignore. But at the end of the day, Serena Williams has always been more than just a tennis player. She's a cultural icon, someone whose every move is scrutinized and analyzed. She has never shied away from her roots, nor has she allowed public perception to dictate how she expresses herself. The real question is,